even Krishnamacharya's yoga. He was a scholar, and he took it from the great tradition in great lifelong scholarship, and came up with it. Said this is yoga, and this is how it's adapted to the individual needs of each person. And it is each person's direct intimacy with reality itself, reality, that which beats the heart and moves the breath and sex, the force of being that is us. And yoga is that, except it hasn't been taught. What's going on in America is very naive. Anusara, and there's Mr. Iyengar, which was a very naive thing in the first place, because he ran away at 21 in Krishnamacharya and never came back. And he sort of made it up as he went along, and then that was taken by a few obsessive people who studied with Iyengar for a while and then dropped out, but have not gone to the study of what yoga actually is. So why I was wanting you to speak, Amy, is because I want you to report as a practitioner that what the actual technology does. And everyone who's sort of by divine accident, divine design, who ended up in this dome with me, you're meant to receive this Tantra. You're somehow the chosen ones, and you're meant to be given it. You're ready for it, So that's why I'm saying it, my intention, as it has been with Amy all along, thank you so much, thank you, is to hold you as a friend. The Guru is no more than a friend, no less than a friend, in an actual relationship. Amy and I have an actual relationship, and in that actual friendship is to hold you to practice, to actually start practicing, to be the yogi that you are, that you're not quite at the moment because you haven't been given the tools, but we give you the tools, and then you, based on your insight and your own need, you begin to practice. Nothing obsessive, It's actual and natural, non-obsessive, daily, actual practice. At home, in your own bedroom. That's what I hold you to. And if anyone needs to run out of the tent and say, who the fuck does he think he is? That's all right. No, it's not all right. I'd be sad. Because this is the teaching of the great tradition. See, Krishnamacharya himself, and please under Krishnamacharya, the teacher of Iyengar. When you look in Light on Yoga, there he is, the old man in the book. He lived to 101 years old and died in 1989. And he is our grandfather. He is the source scholar of yoga. But he's been aggressively ignored as yoga has been branded and popularized in the West. And this is ridiculous. We don't do that to our teachers, in any Western science. We're very interested, in the lineage of knowledge and how it came and how it evolved. But for some reason we've given it all over to Iyengar and Patabi Joyce as if they are the founders of a lineage. They're not the founders of a lineage. They were just young boys who ran away. Krishnamacharya was Iyengar's nephew, and they had a big fight, as they do in families, and he ran away. And then he never had the opportunity to study further. So yoga got chopped off at its knees, dislocated from the great tradition. So I want to give you this simple knowledge, and I've been doing it for a while, so I can give it to you in one session. But then I'm saying, okay, now you do this day by day. And I can safely say it because I'm not asking you to do anything exaggerated on yourself. I'm not asking you to do something spiritual, some effort in the mind or body towards a future result. This is what we were saying. you know, we are already, of course, the power of life. We are already the cosmos appearing as you and me. There is no problem here. It is only power, it is only consciousness, it is only intelligence. It is a wonder and a profundity beyond any understanding, beyond any scientific understanding what we are. So there isn't a problem. So there's nothing to be done. Nothing to be done. However, there's this fucking mind that's been put in us, the social mind, and the dysfunction and sex and everything that's going on, that is imposed upon us. And if you have that insight, therefore you will practice. You'll say, you know, like, I need to do something with that. And from Krishnamacharya's scholarship, it is the practical means to realize the ideals of text, you know, the ideals of meaning, of doctrine, of religion, of any inspiration whatsoever. If you've been inspired, then this yoga is what you do. The practical means to enjoy that inspiration. And he would clearly say, if you've been inspired but you don't have the practical tools to realize that inspiration, then the inspiration makes matters worse. He said, you're best not to be inspired in the first place. Did anyone understand what I'm trying to say there? Yeah. It's best not to have beatitude descend upon you in a moment where you go, wow. You know, because then the usual life drones on, and you always have that gap between the vision and the usual life. And all the traditions are advising all kinds of things to try to link your ordinary life to the beautiful expression of text, you know, divine inspiration or whatever. But few, in my experience in terms of institutional doctrine, whether it be old world or new world, there is no yoga taught. It's just not existing. And yet, in Krishnamacharya's scholarship, there must be a yoga by which you enjoy, realize the inspiration of past realizers, of, you know, of visionaries, of saints and sages, of the past or present. There must be a yoga. This was his scholarly point of view. That if you don't have that yoga, then the beautiful ideas or beautiful experiences that we have do actually make us miserable, because we see that we are not there, and you have to take more LSD or more mescaline or more marijuana or more meditation, you know, more exaggerated sex, you know, trying to feel something. Now you speak.
Well said. No, I think from an experiential viewpoint is that exactly by doing my own practice each day, that then my life is a yoga practice, and I'm more able to fully experience and feel and engage in my life in my own unique way, and that I can see that God is in all of that, and not have to try to escape or bliss out or trance out or be afraid of it or flog myself by doing a million chaturangas, or, you know, I can just know that all of it is God, all of it is the divine, in a really like flesh and blood way of feeling it, instead of someone else telling me.
Yeah. Although you have seen it, you have seen experientially that everything is, to use that word, God. You felt it, right? you're on the banks of the Ganga in Rishikesh, or whatever you felt experientially.
Yes, I've had times where I've felt like I've been blessed with those moments of satori or samadhi. You know, I've had those beautiful moments luckily given to me, but now my normal day-to-day is the same, and to experience that for me was by just doing inhaling and exhaling with myself each day by, you know, has experientially made my day-to-day the same as those.
Yeah, I think you're fulfilling my thesis here, is that the yoga that you do is the practical way by which you enjoy what you have previously experienced.
Even if it sucks. You know, even if it's, you know, really, even if there's fear and anxiety.
Yeah, with you know, you're a new mother, and you have a new business,
tired,
and a new husband. Such a trial.
You only knew.
Yeah. No, we're joking. You know, so there are difficulties. So unfortunately, that blissed out experience that you had on the banks of the Ganga, or somebody might have had when they took a mixture of, you know, mushrooms and MDMA, and, you know, everything was sweet. That does not stay. Is known in the experiential samadhis, nirvikalpa samadhi, those that come and go, make matters worse, because you're trying to re-affect it, and you don't have the practical means. You know, this is Krishnamacharya's statement, that without a yoga, religious insight makes matters worse. Because yoga is the practical means by which we enjoy and participate in reality as it is. That you might enjoy in a certain kind of moment of breakthrough when all the conditions are right, but in the usual life you cannot enjoy that continuously. So there must be a yoga. So that's what I'm saying to you. I'd like to teach you this, and then I'd like to hold you to actually doing it for 40 days straight. My line is, if it was good enough for Jesus to be in the desert and do tapas for 40 days, it's good enough for you to do a 10-minute practice over the next 40 days and see that it happens. Bree, could you hold the microphone to Bree? Perfectly unprepared, unrehearsed, authentic customer statement. So, Bree.
Yes.
So Bree's been studying, not with me actually very much, but with my good friend Jay Brown, who has a studio in Brooklyn, Abhyasa Yoga.
I'm new to Oregon, I've been here like 3 months.
Yeah. So, speak to us about your life in this yoga and why it's...
Well, I guess what kind of, and I lucked out like coming into yoga and having Jay Brown be one of my first teachers who teaches from the similar principles that Mark teaches from the Heart of Yoga principles. And, you know, just like he was saying, it's just about enjoying your everyday life, just being inside of it, and it is what it is, and what can you do to enjoy it and just be in there with it. And I came to yoga because my mom was sick and she was in Oregon, and how do you know, everyone's mom gets sick, or you know, we're all orphaned eventually, right? But when it's you, it's like, how do you deal with it? Like, how do you keep on breathing and walking around in your life? And so I just...
Well, everyone you love dies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Everybody does it, but how do they do it?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't really know what it's like until it's happening. So that's kind of how I came into these teachings, and I didn't intend to become a yoga teacher initially. I just kind of, you know, I'd practice every day for 10 minutes a day, some days for 2 hours, just depending on how much time I had in the day. And before I knew it, I just had this desire, and I mean, I couldn't not share these teachings with people that I loved and cared about, and so that's kind of how I came mark and how I came into.
And what's happening in this very moment where your mum is very sick?
I just came to Oregon to be near my mother and to teach yoga here. And she comes to my class every Saturday and does what she can do.
Nice. Thanks, Bree. You know, I love Jay Brown because he's one of few who've had a serious interest in the popular styles. You know, they've done Iyengar and all the Iyengar derivatives and Anusara and Bikram and Jivamukti and Power Yoga, Vinyasa Flow, you know, whatever. And he's like, got the body type who can do all this stuff, and he loves doing the gymnastics. But then he came to me and he put the principles of Krishnamacharya into his interest with popular styles and so forth. And he's made something of it. You know, he's a really great teacher for America, you know, for young people.
He's way less dramatic than he used to be. I mean,
true. It's certainly, because, you know, the pleasure of committing to the inhale to the exhale. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna said, "O Arjuna, commit the inhale to the exhale. Be a yogi, O Arjuna." You know, the pleasure of strength that is receptive is so sublime compared to, you know, Brahmin male gymnastics of just struggling with the muscularity as strength, as a male only activity rather than the receptivity of strength. The union of the male-female polarities in your own system is so, of course, pleasurable. And my teacher called it making love with life. That this, you know, the brand and styles of the popular yoga is just boring by comparison. You know, have you found that? Have you found that? That it's simply enough to just, you know, this is why I say, what I'm going to teach you is nothing. Everybody can do this. But it is actual hatha yoga, the non-dual tantra of direct intimacy with reality itself.
Well, and what Jay always says over and over and over again in every class, anytime there's a new student, he'll be like, you know, there's all these people, these super yogis that can do all of these extreme things with their bodies, and they're totally miserable. And so how yogic are you if you can do all of this like crazy asana, but then, you know, you're miserable in your life, and it happens all the time, you know. It's like, why are you doing yoga, and how, like, you know, yes, you can put your body in this form, but what does it mean? Like, why are you doing it? And I think people sometimes lose sight.
And I just want to assure everybody in this tent that you can do hatha yoga. We run a course called Advanced Yoga for Perfect Beginners. Yeah, thanks for getting the joke. Of course you are perfect. How could a body arise? How could a life arise? Who could come up with this? But God. Or to use that tricky word, God. But, you know, source, absolute condition of reality has arrived as this extreme intelligence and beauty and function that is you. There is nothing missing. And Hatha Yoga is simply a design from the ancient world, from the wisdom tradition, of participation in that beauty and power that is life. That's all it is. It's easy. It is the union of opposites by which we know the source of opposites. And that's why I'm cajoling you and saying, okay, good. You come into this tent by accident. It's not an accident. You're meant to be given the tools of the Tantra. And now begin, practice, Hatha Yoga. You know, start, auspicious beginning. But nothing exaggerated. Because in spiritual ideas and language, it's always about some heroic attempt towards a future possibility, you know, that you take on in either, you know, philosophy or some meditation practices or something. And this is not in that psychology. trying to get somewhere as if you're not somewhere. And that is always the problem of spiritual language and of yoga, is trying to get somewhere. Trying to get somewhere implies that you're not somewhere. You know, right?
Mm-hmm.
So forget trying to get anywhere. Stop meditating, doing this thing on yourself. You don't need to meditate. But you do need to embrace the reality of your existence and let the mind link. See, when the body links to the breath, the mind goes there automatically. And you can enjoy this given reality. Anything else, Bree, to say? No. So let's just test it out. This lady right in front of me in the purple, yeah. So right in the middle of the tent here, in the bindu of the dome, I want to ask you all attention on her for a moment. Right? No, she doesn't. Oh yeah, give her the mic. Is that the extreme intelligence of life sitting there? That upright spine, that heartbeat and breath. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
You reckon?
Yeah.
But who could come up with a life but a super intelligence? Yeah, good. Is that the extreme beauty of life arising there? Yes or no?
Yes.
Is that the extreme function of reality sitting there in the middle of the room?
Yes.
Without yoga, without meditation, without spiritual philosophy, without religion, there, sitting in front of us, is the extreme intelligence, beauty, and function of existence. Do we all agree?
Yes.
This is not a spiritual statement, right? This is just mathematics. It's simply the case. It's just matter of fact. Here we have to do something like incredibly holy right now, just to acknowledge this. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karatavahai Ejasvina Vadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Please. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Again, from the base. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Please try. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha.
Just simply acknowledging that before us sits the extreme intelligence, the extreme beauty, and the extreme function of reality that is only a nurturing power. And she sits with us without yoga, without meditation, without religious philosophy. She is that which we are speaking of, just as she is in the natural state, and requires no experience, no samadhi, no bliss, no attainment of any description whatsoever. There's no requirement for meditation. And then there's the question, if there is such a thing as an absolute condition, if there is a source, reality, an unseen source, could that source be absent from its appearance, from its appearance as intelligence, beauty and function? Can the source be absent from the seen condition? Yes or no? No. See? So this is very clear now. Nothing spiritual in that. It's just an ordinary investigation of the fact of the situation. The absolute condition of reality of this cosmos has arrived as each of us. And it doesn't have to be realized, because this is what's happened. The attempt to realize it is only implying its absence, and that's the problem. The attempt to meditate and so forth is implying to the mind and the emotions that it is not there. So, as my teacher used to say, the looking is the problem. Stop looking. Stop looking, start living. And that's why there is this requirement for actual asana, for the actual embrace of life. Is that Mike calls it stop meditating, embrace your life. Do the asana that has a vital, most important place in spiritual life. But it's been degraded by the way yoga's been taught in the West. Good. So we're good to go then. Yeah.
So I don't want to be, I think it's interesting that this class, this container that you're holding right now is kind of, like I went to a yoga class this morning that was, the teacher walked us through the concentration on the exhale, this big exhale focus, and the performance and the gymnastics. And, you know, I hear you when you speak about it, and I'm like, well, what are we up against? You know, how big is it? Not that we're... it seems like a pretty big deal that you know, you say it offhandedly, that the way yoga's been introduced to the West has been draped in doctrine of, you know, the male doctrine. And it continues, and I see it reflected around me in many other ways.
Yeah.
The vehicle, you know, in my own community, driving vehicles on the international stage. It doesn't have anything to do with me, but, you know, I think of what's going on right now geopolitically and so forth, and social justice work, and, you know, getting off the mat and so forth. So yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like some heavy stuff.
Yeah.
And I guess my question is, I guess I wanted to say that and be heard, and then I wanted to ask you specifically, how does nature play into this? How can I turn to my own indigenousness or my own, you know, connection or something? Because I want to come home, you know. I don't want to.
I hear you. And, you know, you are home, that's all. You know, you are indigenous. You are nature. You are Mother Nature. You are. You can't not be. You can't not be. You are that. Mother Nature has formed you so beautifully and so powerfully, and given you everything that you need. Mother Nature is abundant and gives life everything that's needed, and you are that. No question about that. You are nature, being in nature. You are Mother Nature, looking at nature. And that's why I call you to do an actual yoga practice. Please be finished with the modern American experiments in yoga that have been branded and taught by celebrity teachers and so forth. It's all been made up. It has no basis in the religious tradition, in the great tradition of the Tantra, of the shamanic Tantra, which is what yoga is your enjoyment of your life, right? And certainly you are up against the weight of religious teachings and the weight of, commercial abuse of the planet and so forth. And the weight of humanity's anger and misery. It's all there, And the weight of, how they're teaching yoga with no receptive, it is not hatha yoga. So you understand all that. You're up against that weight and you say, okay, I'm going to have my life. I'm going to have my life. And you must make a decision, over against that weight to be finished with all those persuasions and arguments that it's trying to exploit you to do certain things to be an okay person when you're already an okay person. And that's why I'm saying, please pay attention to what the yoga actually is. We're going to do a little bit here and understand what the technology of the practice is, and then actually do it in your own bedroom. In your own life. Nothing obsessive. It doesn't have to be obsessive, because as soon as it's obsessive, you're trying to get somewhere as if you're not somewhere. As if you're not already the full-blown wonder of reality itself, which you are. I just ask everybody, the present speaker, is that the extreme intelligence of life speaking to us? That upright spine, that breath and sex? Yes or no?
Yes.
It is. Is it the extreme beauty of life sitting over there?
Yes.
It is. Yeah. Is it the extreme function of life?
I hope so.
And if there is such a thing as an absolute source reality that culture calls God, appearing as that intelligence, beauty, and function, can that source be absent from its visibility? Right. So that is who and what you are. And sure, there might, in some cases, when that discussion, that argument is given, they go, oh, that's it. It might be happening to this lady now for the rest of her life. She's okay. The mind isn't going to disturb that reality that she knows herself to be. That's possible. That is in the religious, when the Sagadada went, he said, I went to my guru, and my guru said, you are the divine self. And he said, within 3 days, he went into a place of perfect peace for the rest of his life. So that's indeed possible, for all of us here. You consider that argument, but it may not sustain for some of us. There might be some patterns. There might be some emotional abuse, from our childhood or something, that has created patterning. So that is why we choose to do a yoga practice, whether we have fallen into permanent peace or not. We've just seen the peace, but you soberly realize, oh yeah, there's disturbance in me. Which is kind of what you're saying, I think. Like, fuck, you're up against it. Yeah. Those bastards have got you.
I get angry.
Yeah, the
I get angry. And then I'm like, is that okay to be angry? How do I work with my
No,
anger?
well, it is okay to be angry, but not permanently angry.
I know, but yeah.
Yeah.
But it's worth fighting for or something. I mean, not in a way, or. But then I got to be soft and inhale and
Well,
receive,
yeah.
and
It's better to not be in conflict with society. See, if you're not in conflict with society, then you're finished with it. You forgive all those poor bastards. You know, all of them. Sure, you must go through the stages of anger, but then anger, beneath the anger is pain, actually, which is more fundamental to pain. Pain is more fundamental to anger. They all function for a good purpose. Anger, you've got to fucking deal with the situation and get away, not be killed. Get away from the bear or something. And then there's fear and pain, which is more fundamental to the anger. And then there's grief, because of society, the way it is. And then there's compassion for every single person who's suffering. And it's better to, in my opinion, to come to compassion, because then your body can relax. And then it's even forgiveness, And forgiveness is kind of the main line is mainlining. It's right into the main vein to be able to forgive, if it's possible. To suddenly speed through anger, pain, fear, grief, compassion, and just get to forgiveness. When you see the total overview of everything is what a shit deal has been dished up to every single person. Everybody's been abused, so they are abusing. So if you can forgive and have your life, right? That's all. And this to do asana is to have your life. It is to be intimate with life. Embrace your life. Yeah. That's why it's so important to do asana. Thanks for going through this consideration, being so blunt about it.
Thank you.
So honest. See, I'd say, for you, it's like, okay, now is the time. Yoga is given to you. And I really mean that. My teacher was Krishnamacharya. And I just share with you what he gave. In 20 minutes I can give it to you. And then I'm going to ask you to do it. And if you do ever forget, I've put out some books. I've got a new book out that I want you to get. It's called The Promise of Love, Sex and Intimacy. That's what it's called. And there's also an app that goes with it. It's called I Promise. Yeah? Kind of a joke. I promise. Yeah, but it's there, and you can, it's just a 10-minute video, of how to do it. Brief little practice. Asana is the union of opposites in your own embodiment. It's the union of left and right, above and below, of exhale to inhale, of strength to receptivity, male to female, within and without. That's what it is. You simply understand that you do this union of above to below, inhale with exhale, strength with receptivity. Then you are able to do the union of opposites in the outer polarity with somebody else. That's how it happens. You are understanding that? Strength receiving within and without. And because of the society that we've grown up in and the dysfunction around sex, it is completely necessary to do this. There is no way out. You must become intimate with your own life, sensitive to your own embodiment, intimate with your own life. And to do right asana is the way to do that. Furthermore, saying, by the union of opposites, we know the source of opposites. You know, that source that we speak of, the God, the absolute condition of reality, that took form when male and female came into union and your mother, father were created, the nurturing force of life. See, it's all in sex. We must heal sex. We must honor sex to understand, you know. Sex is all about God. It is the way we enter this realm, is through sex, through the union of opposites. And in this union, participating in this union, by the union of opposites, we know the source of opposites. That's all. Then your relationship with another can become yoga. Relationship becomes a yoga process. And that's a beautiful thing to have in life. You turn your relationship into a yoga relationship. Via the relationship, you know the source of opposites. You know? If I link to him, then I know the source of us both. Like that. But it can only be achieved if you first sensitive to the polarities of your own embodiment. You're sensitive to your own embodiment. And I just want to say, it's really easy. Anybody can do it. Krishnamacharya, there's a right yoga for every person, no matter who the person is. Anybody can do it. By the union of opposites, we know the source of opposites, within and without. These opposites, your mother and father, arrive, and one cell has arrived. The source has become seen. Spirit has taken form as this one cell. It's called the heart, or the hrid. And this hrid is blooming as the whole body. Yeah? The seat of Shakti is not the Muladhara chakra, it's the heart. This heart is realized when the opposites are engaged. That's all. You can't realize the heart through concentration or any sort of meditative effort. It's simply when the whole body is integrated with everything that is, then the heart can be felt. Is everybody understanding that? Yeah. Hence the need for a real yoga practice. Yeah. Look, kirtan and puja, it's very beautiful. And has a profound, you know, of any religion. You know, go into the Catholic Church and do the liturgy in the churches, the cathedrals of Europe, you know, it's utterly beautiful. You hear the Deepak, you know, and they're utterly beautiful. And my teacher, Krishnamacharya, was a deeply religious man in Vaishnavism and puja and kirtan and arati and all these outer forms of devotional expression were really important to him. In all of this, he said, your first spiritual responsibility is your asana. That asana is devotion. It is bhakti. It is whole body prayer to life. And he's just making this case is do not neglect your asana for, you know, the more exciting artistic. But I want to assure you, making love is very exciting. Making love in your own embodiment, inhale, exhale, is utterly beautiful. It is utter devotion. It is the first act of devotion. He was a Vaishnava, you know, Hare Krishna, Bhakta, scholar, Acharya, and he's saying asana is the point. It is the first, most vital practice of bhakti. Please. And my lovely friend Shamdas, who died recently, I hope some of you met him, is a great loss for us. He died too soon. Shamdas, the scholar of Vaishnavism too. He, you know, one of the with Ram Das, and he went off to meet his guru and Emperor Ali Baba, and he stayed in India and became utterly fluent in Hindi and Sanskrit and that culture. And this is the beauty of our meeting, is because he got this point that a yoga is required in the Vaishnava tradition. The kirtan activity tends to do what Amy was talking about, is it creates experiential samadhis that come and go. There must be this steadiness of practice in the temple of your own embodiment. And then all the other aspects of religious life, bhakti, whether that's Catholicism, which is bhakti, it's a guru devotion, or Hare Krishna, whatever it is, there must be a yoga. But, I'm just saying, I said before, in all these institutions, it's not there. It's not understood. And for some reason, you've been put in this tent to understand that this is a requirement for a life where there is imposition. If there's any imposition. So this lady, she may not have imposition. I've met yogis like that. Yuji Krishnamurti was like that. He studied with Krishnamacharya for 3 years, and then, there was no requirement for anything. He was in the natural state. But if you, as you sort of most honestly confessed, if there is obstruction, if there is anger, pain, fear, all of that, then there's a requirement for yoga. And just do it until there is no more requirement. So you just relax in the natural state. Okay, so that's my thesis. Is there anything else about all of that anyone needs to bring forth? Yes?
You had just said earlier, no need to meditate or that, but at the end you also said, but if you have fear, anger, then of course it's necessary.
Yeah.
I just wanted to clarify that you're not completely opposed to meditation.
Right. But I am saying on this, don't meditate, please. Do asana. And then meditation will arise from that. Asana, pranayama, meditation, and life is a seamless process. And what's happened, is that since Buddhism, they glamorized meditation and dislodged it from its yogic base. My teacher would say the Buddha was a yogi. Literally, he grew up and got educated in yogic culture in the plains of the Ganga. And what isms have done, what doctrine has done, is created meaning and effort in those meanings, and a lot of, the idea of meditation, and brought that forth and cut off the yoga-based yogic content. And what is the yogic content? What does that mean? I'm talking specifically asana, but what does that mean? Asana means intimacy with all ordinary conditions. To embrace your own embodiment is the practice, not meditation as it's come down through Buddhism and so forth. I see that as a deep imposition on humanity, this call to meditate, without yoga. It's created a dissociation, what we need.
I just feel like sometimes meditation is such a great relief.
Yeah, it's a temporary release. It's like taking drugs. When you read Eckhart Tolle's book, you go into literal satori as you, reside as awareness. You see, residing as awareness residing as the witness only to all arising conditions, is the very fact that you're witnessing it is your dissociation from it. The Buddhists who let things come and go and try to create this place of non-attachment, is dissociation from the born condition that has created all this misery. It has created civilization, Christianity and Buddhism. The denial of life, the denial of sex, the denial of the natural state. So I'm saying, please, if there is imposition, a right yoga, asana, intimacy with all ordinary conditions, in your own embodiment and this body's relatedness to its own experience, you know, nature and nature, is what you do, not meditate. It's true, however, that meditation arises as siddhi. See, Krishnamacharya says you cannot meditate. The attempt to meditate makes you miserable. There's no requirement for it. What there is a requirement for is to embrace your life. Stop looking, start living. And this asana that unfortunately nobody teaches in America is the embrace of the polarities of your own, you know, the literal male-female qualities of your own embodiment. And if you do that, then clearly, intimacy creates clarity of mind. Intimacy creates meditation. I went out to Green Gulch, the Buddhist center in San Francisco. Most beautiful place. Deeply respectful of those people. Power in their temple, you know. And everybody's sitting there looking at a white wall with their eyes at 45 degrees for hours on end. Watching thoughts come, watching thoughts go, you know. Like, there's something about it. It is creating a temporary relief, you know. And suddenly your mind is less troubled. But what people really want is sex. They do. They want a successful sex life. And without a successful sex life, all this stuff is just a distraction for what's really needed. And saying, come on, get down to it. Because what's really needed is intimacy with life. And all this stuff has created the denial of that in Buddhism and everything else. Sex is the union of opposites, is religious life. Not this stuff. The whole weight of Buddhism and Christianity and everything else is trying to bypass that first responsibility to be intimate with your own life. Can you see that? The whole weight of it. The whole weight of spiritual language. All of it. Eckhart Tolle, all of it.
But I think sometimes meditation helps me to get to the place where I remember I am source. And I don't feel like it's a checking out so much as a checking in.
Fair enough, and I, of course, honor your spiritual practice and clarity of intention. And all I'm saying as a yogi, as a student of Krishnamacharya, is please prioritize asana and pranayama in your meditative, in your spiritual practice. See that it's there, the embrace of life. And I guarantee it will empower your meditation. Yeah. Asana pranayama meditation is a seamless process. You know, out at Green Gulch, it was a yogic process that they were doing. It's certainly true that in the embrace of your intimate life through yoga, things happen for the mind where you suddenly see, oh my God, everything is only consciousness. You know, that it arises, suddenly like that, or gradually. You know. But you cannot get there. The mind struggling with the mind won't get there. Meditation arises as siddhi, or you suddenly find yourself in the witness-only position of what, you know, you are consciousness witnessing all arising. But that shouldn't be practiced. And this is what's happened with Buddhism. They're attempting to practice that and creating whole cultures of it, you know, sexless culture and the denial of the feminine and so forth. The denial of the natural wonder of reality. And when it's not to be mean to anybody, because, you know, it's a vast, thousands of years now, cultural enterprise that created this. You know, you see the usual response in the world is just to dump it. People aren't interested in it. You know, is there God or isn't there? Am I an atheist or am I a believer? It's too complicated, forget it. Let's have a beer. You know? It's just... Well, you know, I think it's very hopeful at the moment because yoga is so popular. As it, you know, we get yoga on every corner. Like Bree's just gone to Eugene, you know, so there's a serious, no bull yoga teacher in Eugene now. So there's hope. You know, we need actual teachers everywhere. Give intimacy to the people, not religion. Okay. Anything else? Any burning questions, issues? Yes, sir. Yes, you were. You are. You are. No, not raised, but you were definitely born in it, and you continue to be in it.
Intimacy with one person, and obviously once you have that with yourself, like you could have it with one person, but if you never got there,
Yes.
you might just like, you know, because you could have sex when you're like 15 or whatever,
Yeah.
and then, you know, you just fuck them and leave them, and then you got babies with no parents.
Yeah. Thank you for your very serious inquiry. You know, just like that gentleman there, you make me want to cry. You know? No, truly, is it wonderful that you're thinking deeply into these matters? You know, I am saying you are Mother Nature. You know, Mother Nature created you, fully formed. You know, is that the extreme intelligence of life in the yellow T-shirt there?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it the extreme beauty of life?
Yes.
Yeah. Is it the extreme function of reality?
Absolutely.
And that there is an unseen source, an absolute condition to this intelligence, beauty, and function. Can it be absent from the yellow T-shirt? No, you are in the natural state. And you continue to be, even if the mind thinks it's not. You know, even growing up in a dysfunctional society and having inappropriate sex all over the place, you know, making mistakes and so forth, you're still in the natural state. Right? You understand what I'm saying? We all looked at you. Clearly, your life is utterly beautiful. Your life is utterly intelligent. You know? And you have function on this earth, things to do, things to achieve, people to help, you know? Work to be done, parenting to be done, and so forth. You know? You're beautiful. It's true that society all around us is dysfunctional. Right? And that's why I'm asking you that you understand how dysfunctional it is, but claim your own life. You know, have your own life. Don't settle for anything less. And I'm saying when you embrace through this yoga practice that I'm going to give you, that is the embrace of your own life. The embrace of your natural state, to be with your breath, to be with your body. And in time, to be with somebody else that you choose out of your real desire and choose to be with them and make love with them with continuity. And I do recommend that, monogamy. Choose somebody that you like very much, that you even lust very much, and have them and be with them. And make something of this sex for yourself and for them. That's what I recommend. Take your time doing that. And if you've made mistakes in the meantime, it doesn't matter. Everybody makes mistakes. Has anyone not made a mistake in the field of sex? Anyone? Anyone? Did you put your hand up, sir?
It's a joke. I'm ready for the practice.
Do you hear what I'm saying? Yeah, have a good life. Your life is blessed. Please tell everybody about this, what we're about to do. Have it for yourself. Anything else? Did I answer it satisfactorily?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just hard to, like, how do you get there without learning it? And then how do you learn it? And I think maybe the answer is proper parenting with two people who love each other. And
Yeah, that's right. And if, you know, your parents have made mistakes and there wasn't so-called proper parenting, then forgive them in time. You know, they tried their best. They did their best with the knowledge that they had in hand. And they also had their own bad parenting. You know, this bad parenting is a long generational chain of events, you know, that you're at the end of, and you're here to clear it up. To end those karmas in your family lineage by forgiving them. You know, I forgive all people. Please God, thank you God. You know, may all people forgive me. I forgive my mother, I forgive my father. They did their best. Thank you for trying and doing your best. I forgive them. May you forgive me. You know, and then carry on. You know, clean it up, and then you have your life, right? Ending those karmas for society, you know, and having, especially the whole sexual dysfunction and everything, and having your life. Take your time with it. And I do recommend that you begin this yoga practice, and then in time you choose somebody that you really like and go through those difficulties of getting together and, you know, and staying together and seeing how deep you can go. The depth that you can go to in sexuality in a committed relationship is profound compared to a bit here and a bit there. Believe me. Yeah, thanks. Beautiful. I wish somebody had had this conversation with me when I was your age. I wish, you know. You're in a very fortunate position. Please remember this conversation. If you need some help with this matter, please, you know, look at this. It's an app called I Promise to remind you how to do it. In the book that I had called The Promise of Love, Sex and Intimacy. Great. So, I'd like to you to all stand up, please. Would you stand with your feet parallel and slightly apart? And do a real simple thing. I want you to inhale, look up and see the hands like this. And exhale, bring the arms down again. Just the arms. Inhale, arms come up. See the hands. Pause. Exhale, arms come down. And keep going. 2 or 3 more breaths. Radhe Govinda. One more. Thank you. Now, look, everyone had a good strong exhale. I could hear it at the throat. What I want to hear is that ujjayi, that throat sound on the inhale as well. Now, could you just know the difference? Could you all sniff air through your nostrils and go, all right, so it's not that. Take 2 fingers here, tuck the chin in, and make a little soft sound as the throat on the inhale as well as the exhale. Inhale. Just wait and see if you can feel that sound of the air passing through the back of the throat. Your body already knows this because when you fall asleep, this breath takes over. Here on the inhale as well, and it helps to tuck the chin in. Yeah, that's it. It's a bit like snoring. It's vocalization. All right, now, with the arm movement, put that sound. Look up, see the hands. Exhale, arms down. Good, and carry on. Good. The body movement is the breath movement. Achieve that. The body movement is the breath movement. The breath movement is the body movement. One more. All right, beautiful. Arms down, exhale. It's so lovely to see you doing that, sir. Very, very cool. You're very focused. You know, it's quite a lot of work. It's a surprising amount. This receiving. See, you did it. Did it well. I want you to do that every day, even if just it's that. Then lie down and rest. All right. Now, do it again, but this time I want you to see that the breath envelops the movement. If this is the body movement, this is breath movement. All right? So I inhale, then move, and I'm still inhaling when the hands come together. Exhale, then move, please. 4 breaths, 4 to 6 breaths. Not too slow. Just have a good breathe. Whole body breathing. Carry on. Good. And look up. Eyes open. Eyes open. Good. Not too slow. Just have a good breath. Keep it. Good. And look up. Keep the eyes open. Eyes open, standing asana. Good, thank you. One last thing. The inhale is from above, the exhale is from below. So place one hand on the upper chest, one hand on the lower abdominal. Breathe into the upper chest, please. Inhale. Exhale, flatten the belly. Feel, this is really important. It's above to below. Don't let me hear nostril sounds. Just the throat. Chin tucked in a little bit. Feel the ribs expanding in the front and back. This is vital. This you can do all of Mr. Iyengar's asana. All right. And now, please go again with that simple arm movement. Inhale, arms up. See the hands above. Start the exhale before you move. Arms come down. Not too slow, not too fast. But not too slow. Just have a good breathe. Breathe. Be with your breath. Keep the eyes open, please. Good. Notice the pause after inhale and the pause after exhale. Good. On your next exhale, go into a forward bend. Go down. Soften the knees and the neck. Soften the neck. And inhale, arms bring you up again. Right up. Let me hear the inhale. Exhale, go down. Pause. Inhale, arms bring you up. I just want to hear the throat, not the nostrils. 2 more breaths. I want to hear your inhale as you come up. Good. One more. Excellent, sir. You're doing great. Major yoga transmission. One more inhale, come up. And go down into forward bend and stay in the forward bend for 4 breaths in the same breath ratio that you did in the movement. On inhale, ease the forward bend, open the rib cage. Exhale, deepen the forward bend. Inhale, ease. Exhale, go deeper. Inhale, ease the forward bend and pause. Exhale, go deeper. Good. And on your next inhale, up you come. Arms bring you up. Right up. Hands to your heart, exhale. Remember the heart, the place where all opposites arise and return. Where left meets right and above meets below. Where the inhale meets the exhale. Where strength is receiving within and without. The heart. Hrid, called. Hrid. Hrid is an interesting word like hatha yoga. Hrid, the word for heart in yoga, means hri to give and da to receive. Hrid. So your hands are in the heart. Go again. Inhale, arch, come up. Right up. Exhale, forward bend, go down. Soften the knees and the neck. And the neck. Pause. Arms bring you up. Inhale. Just let me. Full throat inhale. Start the exhale before you move. Go down. I just want to make sure that everybody has this. Whole body breathing. Carry on. Whole body prayer to life. One more time. Inhale, come on. And hands to your heart, exhale. Very cool. Everyone's a yogi. Right, now take a full stride, 3.5 feet. Keep the feet hip width apart. Inhale, come up, arch, see the hands. Exhale, deep forward bend, come down. And pause. Inhale, arms bring you up again, right up. Equal weight through both feet, see the hands. Exhale, forward bend. Pause after exhale. Arms bring you up, the breath brings you up. Inhale, see the arms above. Pause, start the exhale before you move. Arms come down. 2 or 3 more breaths. One more. Inhale, come up. Now stay there for 3 breaths. Exhale from below. Inhale from above. Please see the arms, eyes are open. See the hands above. Soft shoulders. Equal weight through both feet. Let me hear your inhale. Strength receiving. Good. On your next exhale, forward bend, come down, deeply down. Pause. Stride forward. Stay 1 inhale. 1 exhale. And inhale, come up. Arms bring you up. Right up. And hands to your heart. Good. Stride the other leg back, 3.5 feet. Equal weight through both feet. Inhale, come up. See the arms. Pause. Exhale, forward bend, go down. Abdominals lift in and up. It's called bandha. Inhale, come on up. Arms bring you up. 2 or 3 more breaths. Soften the neck. Carry on. Let me hear your inhale. Once more. Good. Inhale, come on up and stay for 4 breaths. Exhale from the base. Inhale into the upper chest, soft hands, soft shoulders, soft elbows, no struggle in the upper body. Breathing to and from the core of the body. The inhale equal to the exhale. Good. Exhale, come on down, deeply down. Abdominals lift in and up in bandha. Stride forward in the bandha. Stay 1 inhale. 1 exhale. And inhale, arms bring you up. Right up. Hands to your heart, exhale. Good. I want you to think of the sun, the literal sun, that lights our world. Please observe the fact that if the sun goes out, we're gone in 8 minutes. That means we are literal light. You are light. You are light. You are a process of light. So I want you to receive that light, bring the arms up. Now forward bend, give yourself to that light, come down. Pause. Inhale, come up, receive the light. Receive, receive, receive light. Give yourself to the light, forward bend. Inhale, receive light. The literal light. Once more, exhale. Give yourself to the light. Pause. Inhale, come up. Receive light. And hands to the heart. Give yourself to light. You don't have to give yourself, actually, because you are light. It's simply an acknowledgement of what is, of course, always already true. Inhale, receive the light. Now I want you to chant this mantra. Om Shri Shri Namaha. Give that to the sun. Om Shri Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive light. Forward bend with mantra. Give that to the sun. Om Shri Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive light. Come up. Give that mantra to the sun. Om Shri Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive light. Forward bend, give mantra. Om Shri Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive light. Give mantra. Om Shri Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive. Hands to the heart. Om Shri Shri Hai Namaha. Be with the light. Be with that brightness that's always there. Brightness of the sun, brightness of the life, brightness of the spine, brightness of the heart that shines as the whole body. Inhale, come up, right up. Exhale, forward bend, go down. Please walk back to down dog, just both feet 3.5 feet back, and then go immediately into cat pose, knees to the floor, arch, right? And then exhale to child pose. Good. Inhale into cat pose, arch. Exhale, squish down into child pose. Good. Simply that. Inhale into cat pose. Exhale into child pose. Good. Inhale into cat, let me hear it. Come down with Om. Inhale into cat, and it's a pure O sound. Om. Om. Come down. Inhale into cat. Now this time stand on the knees, bring the arms to the sun. Inhale it. Right up. Back to child pose. Inhale, come through to cobra. Bhujangasana. Inhale all the way through. Stay there, one exhale. Stay one inhale. Exhale back to child pose. All the way back. Don't worry about mantra for now. Inhale, arms to the roof. Come right up. Let me hear the inhale. Exhale to child pose. Inhale, Bhujangasana. Right through. Exhale, stay. Inhale, stay. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, arms to the roof, come up. Very nice, sir. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, child pose. You got it. Inhale, arms to the roof, come up. And hands to your heart, exhale. Good. Resting breath. And please lie on your back and hold the knees. One hand on each knee. On inhale, feet to the roof, arms over the head to the floor behind the head. Inhale, feet to the roof. Let me hear the inhale. Exhale, hold the knees, bring the knees into the chest. Good. Inhale, arms come up, legs come up. Pause. Exhale, come down, hold the knees. Push the breath out. One more time, inhale. Good. Exhale, hold the knees. The eyes can close now. Once more, inhale. Let me hear the inhale. Exhale, hold the knee. One more time. And exhale. Good. And rest. Little rest. Holding the knees, rest. On your next inhale, drop the feet to the floor close to the body and lift the back off the floor as the arms come over the head. Inhale, lift right up, and lift up, pause. Exhale, come down, hold the knees. Push the breath out. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Lift right up. Pause. Exhale, come down, hold the knees. Pause. Carry on. Right up. Lift up. Exhale, hold the knee. Once more. Now stay above in that pose 3 breaths, 4 breaths. So, this one. When we hear the inhale, lengthen the pause after inhale. And on your next exhale, come down, hold the knees. And simply rest now. Rest holding the knee. Rest. Just rest. Complete rest for a moment. So I've initiated you all into actual yoga practice that I want you to do each day now for the next 40 days, 10 minutes a day. And here's some mantras for that purpose, acknowledging your initiation. Shuklam Vardadam Vishnam Shashivatam Chatubhujam Prasannavardhanam Jayeta Savevigna Pashantaye Guru Pyastad Guru Pyasya Namo Vakamadeemahe Vrinimahe Chitat Rajo Dampati Jagadampati Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Harihi Om Om Gananam Tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Gavin Gavinam Upama Shavastamam Jestarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anasrin Banhoti Teshida Sadhanam Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha Om. I acknowledge you as a yogi. I bless your life. I bless your practice with all the powers of my teachers that have gone before, given directly to you. It is quite clear that the nurturing source reality has arrived as this wonder, as this intelligence, as this beauty. You're free to have your life. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Punaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Ejasvi Havadhi Tamastu Mavid Vishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Good, and please stretch out in full Shavasana for a moment. If it's cold on the ground, don't stay there. Just sit up and rest. Be completely given over for a moment, the whole body. Rest each finger in the hand and each toe in the foot. Rest each limb in the whole body, the whole head in the whole body. Till you feel stillness as the context of the whole body. Everything arising in stillness. The core of the body in stillness. Everything arising in stillness. Even the sounds that you can hear. The thoughts that you have. Notice there is a kind of power in that stillness. There's a power in that stillness. You are this life. You can't be anything else. Life is a power and a perfect intelligence. You are completely cared for in that intelligence. It is always working, always correcting, always healing, always nurturing, always regenerating life. You don't have to achieve it. No one need give it to you. And you can't lose it. No one can take it away from you. Please, give this to yourself each day. Your yoga is your easy participation in this nurturing force. Please, give this to yourself each day. Give the body a chance for its inherent intelligence to function. Give the body a chance for its inherent power to operate. Good. Good. And would you gently please transition to sitting and just continue to rest sitting for a moment. Just resting, sitting. Do what you're doing, but sitting, doing it. You notice there is a strong aspect to the body, with base and spine, and strength, and softness in the crown and front. Strength of your base completely supports the soft crown, which is utterly receptive, and the whole front of the body utterly receptive. You can't say where strength ends and receptivity begins. It is one process. Hatha yoga, the yin and yang of it, Shiva Shakti yoga, male, female. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha, from the body base, please. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, bring the arms up. And that mantra as the arms come are in a circle. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive. From the body base. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive. Ujjayi, inhale. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Inhale, receive. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. One more. Inhale, receive into the whole body. And hands to the heart. Om Shreem Shri Hai Namaha. Soft hands the center of the circle. Your palms so soft there's a little cave in your palms that could hold a flower without crushing the petals. So soft. And I want you to visualize from your heart 8-petaled lotus blooming in all directions. 1 petal to the crown, 1 petal to the body base, 1 petal left, 1 right. Petals diagonally. See the tips of each petal, how it might seem to turn back towards the heart. This easy visual, this floral intelligence of beauty that we know so well. The flow of nurturing from the Hridaya. The Padma Hridayam, the anciently given form of nurturing source, reality itself that appears as every thing. Your own embodiment in all relatedness. Into the top petal, Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha, please.
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha. Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
Left petal,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
right petal,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
left upper diagonal,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
right bottom diagonal,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
left bottom diagonal,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
right top diagonal,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
the whole lotus bloom shimmering,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
again,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
once more,
Om Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
please inhale, bring the arms up around the lotus, your hands to the heart, Om
Shrim Shri Hai Namaha.
What I'm choosing is there's a whole bottle of
nurturing source reality has arrived as each of us really so. Thank you so much, everybody, for your time and attention to this consideration and a little taste of practice. Of course, there's more if you'd ever like it. But it's such a privilege to be with each one. Everyone in this tent is a yogi. Otherwise, you wouldn't have ended up in here. That's how it goes. So, and I do suggest, please, that you try to practice this polarity, this inhale, exhale. If you need help on that, there is help available. I'm at Esalen in December, and I'm around. We're not going anywhere. And I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Yeah. Thanks a lot. Okay, everybody. Thank you. See you soon.
Thank you.
3 o'clock if you want to come. Maybe we'll find more time for asana. 3. Thanks.